Hola Carmen. ¿Cómo estás? Bien, gracias. Bien, gracias. Qué bueno.
¿Listo? ¿Anos? ¿Estamos listos? Bienvenidos. I'm Jennifer Rabb and have the great privilege of being the president of Hunter College, of course the steward of Roosevelt House, and really thrilled to welcome all of you today to become, I think what's become a tradition now, that we kick off the Puerto Rican Day Parade at Roosevelt House, which is so actually very cool for us. It is a pleasure to welcome all of you, Lilian Rodriguez-Lopez, Luis Maldonado, my friend, and thank you for all of your work making this extraordinary New York institution, which has always been a part of my life as a New Yorker, the Puerto Rican Day Parade. How amazing is it that we have our madrina with us, Judy Torres. And we're so really excited to welcome you. They're amazing honorees. We congratulate all of them this year, but I wanted to make a little special shout out to two of them. Antonio Pantoja is very, very dear to Hunter College. So a 2-minute story, if you'll permit me. Antonio Pantoja was a Hunter girl, as we would say in those years. She was a Hunter student. When Thomas Hunter created Hunter College, he had a very progressive vision in the 1870s, and he not only created a place for women to be educated, which was quite unusual. We're the 9th school in the United States to accept women to be educated in higher education, but he was very clear that it would be of all races, ethnicities, religions, economic status, which was so incredibly progressive. When Antonio came here, it was quite a struggle. And she wrote in her autobiography that she was so poor, she had one pair of pants and one shirt. And she said if she put them on the number 4 train, they would get out at 68th Street. And it was this vision I always had of reading those words. And she not only was a Hunter student, but she created something incredibly important for Hunter College, which comes back to El Centro, which is, of course, our institution of celebrating, researching, and supporting the Puerto Rican diaspora. And Antonio was, of course, an extraordinary social worker. And she met a wealthy man named Buddy Silberman. And she taught Buddy Silberman about the importance of social work and of public colleges teaching social work. And he was so taken and moved and inspired by Antonio that when he came back from Puerto Rico to New York, he bought the townhouse next to his on 79th Street. He tore them both down and built a building of social work for Hunter College. So it was Antonio Pantoja who created a space for the Hunter Social Work School, which then I had the great just privilege of working with the community. I always felt our social work school should be in a place where it could be more supportive and live its mission. So we were able to do a real estate swap, move from 79th Street to El Barrio, or 119th Street and 3rd Avenue, and then have the idea of asking El Centro to come up to 119th Street to expand and connect with the community. So Antonio Pantoja was the kernel of that, which is so wonderful. And then I love the fact that Antonio Martorell is also being honored, because when we opened the Silverman Social Work Building and El Centro and our gallery, Angel, the first exhibit we did was called Labor, and it was all based on Antonio Martorell's work. So everything came full circle, and it's very exciting that you are honoring these wonderful parts of our Hunter family this year. And then, of course, we have in this house a connection through the Roosevelts to the Puerto Rican community and the diaspora. Franklin paid his first visit to the island of Puerto Rico in 1904, and then 30 years later, as president, he went back, which was quite unusual. And he said then, and I quote, I believe in better homes when he visited San Juan, a better family life, better living conditions, better chance for education, better health conditions, and a better chance for every person to earn his livelihood. And he left the crowd saying, I am looking forward to solving these problems here in the island just as quickly as we shall solve them in the continental part of the U.S. So a little bit of old-fashioned language, but a real commitment by FDR to support the Puerto Rican people. He created the Puerto Rican Reconstruction Administration, which supported agricultural development, public works, and support for utilities on the island. And in San Juan today, there is an elementary school named for Eleanor, given their relationship and their support and their connection between the mainland and the island. So it all comes full circle today for us hosting the start of the Puerto Rican Parade, to our connections with the community, and our support for the 50th anniversary of El Centro, which of course is a great partner to the parade. And today we celebrate a new position that we created, really as showing the growth and the support we have in Hunter for El Centro to really support the arts and cultural piece and the research work that we've been doing at Centro. We found an extraordinary leader in Angel Antonio Ruiz Laboy, who is our Associate Director of Arts and Culture. Angel, you've just been doing just such creative, wonderful work, and I'm so proud that we really expanded into this area. And even though you didn't bring us Fat Show today, we know that you are always thinking about culture, etc. You almost got us Bad Bunny, right? So the symposium. So it is wonderful to bring up Angel, and again to say to all of you, thank you for letting Hunter be a part of this parade of the 116th Street Festival the day before, and we are here to support in any way we can. Angel Ruiz.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you, President Raab, not just for the introduction, but the constant support that Centro has received from you for several years. President Raab has not only been a supporter of Centro, but a supporter of the Puerto Rican community at large, so thank you very much for all your commitment. So, as President Raab said, my name is Angel Antonio Ruiz Laboy. I'm the Associate Director of Arts and Culture at Centro, and I'm here not just on behalf of our Director, Yarimar Bonilla, but on behalf of my Centro community, our Centro community. I would like first to recognize the historical significance of holding this press conference here at Roosevelt House, because for all the ones who know, it plays a definitely like a crucial role on the Puerto Rican history since 1898 and beyond. But Jumping on time, if we go back to 1972, the flame of civil rights movement was still alive, and then the first generation of Puerto Ricans born in the mainland, as a result of the great migrations of the 1950s, were on the street fighting alongside the Black American peers, a crucial fight in the history of higher education, the fight for inclusion and representation. Centro is the direct result of their fight. Students, professors, and community members demanded to tell their own story and to collect and preserve their contributions to this nation, so nobody could misrepresent them, subsequently discriminate against them. In 1973, 50 years ago, Centro became official. 50 years later, we're still here, stronger than ever, and as committed as our first day. Why? Because the civil rights era has not come to an end. Because the battle for inclusion and representation has not come to an end. Because we, as a society, are no longer asking for extra seats on a broken table. We are building a new table with seats for the Puerto Rican community, but also for the upcoming migrants, for the disabled, for the trans communities, for the elders, for the female identified, and all those oppressed by the same patriarchal, imperialistic system. It is impossible to tell the history of the 20th century without telling the history of New York. The history of New York is incomplete if we don't tell the history of Puerto Ricans. And the history of Puerto Ricans and the Puerto Rican diaspora cannot be told without Centro. We are celebrating our 50th anniversary. We are ready to march and celebrate our legacies once again with our community during the National Puerto Rican Day Parade. We're happy to be here with you today, and we will be marching together with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, President Rob. Thank you, Angel. Good morning, everybody. Again, just want to give a very warm thank you to Hunter College and to the Center for Puerto Rican Studies, who has not only given us this wonderful space, very iconic space for today's press conference, but they truly are our partners in crime. Good crime, of course. But they are strong collaborators throughout the year. They help us with programming, with ideas, with all kinds of support. And for that reason, we really, really do truly thank you both and your entire staff, the full team here at Centro who greeted you up when you all arrived, as well as Hunter College, who has been just wonderful in organizing this. So thank you so much. Again, we're here to announce some of our second installment of announcements for the 2023 National Puerto Rican Day Parade, which is going to be culminating the celebration on June 11th on Fifth Avenue. Without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and announce or start the program. I call to the podium our president and board chair, Lillian Rodriguez-Lopez, who will provide some initial remarks. Let's welcome her to the podium.
I'm actually trying to be paper neutral, so hopefully this will work. Who knows? But thank you all for being here today. It's such a pleasure, and thank you, Louis, our former board chair, who's done such unbelievable work. I don't know, President Rob, why you had to go there. I'm supposed to be the one who says, this is a great celebration, and what's the theme, and uplifts, and then I follow you and this amazing gentleman, and all I can think about is the history of the Puerto Rican community in New York, how the parade was born, experiencing it as a very young girl. My first parade I was taken to when I was about, I think, 5 or 6 years old, and then seeing some of the images and knowing what Centro does and their work, it's just amazing. And I remember, I'm just gonna say it's a personal point of reference, but being in a bus going down 3rd Avenue in the Bronx with my mom, And I said, what's going on there? I was like, I don't know, maybe 10 years old or maybe a little younger. I was probably younger. And she goes, oh, they took over Lincoln Hospital. I'm like, oh, okay. Despierta Boricua, okay. And because my grandmother lived in what was really considered at that time the real, I mean, you had East Harlem, no doubt. But if you were in the Bronx, you were on 138th Street, across the street from the Teatro Puerto Rico, where you would hear Gran Combo and Tito Puente and all these people. And my grandmother lived right across the street, so we actually snuck into the concerts. So the parade is born of a desire for representation, a desire of voice, a desire to show how important our legacy has been and our contributions, not for 10 years, not for 60 years, but for hundreds of years, our communities have been contributing all around the world. And so I'm always fascinated when I do get to travel somewhere, whether it's, you know, Madrid or Paris, because I get some lucky trip and someone will say, oh, I'm Puerto Rican. And you're like, wow. And then you connect automatically. So I just thank you, and I go back to the written remarks now. But you know, you do make people emotional when you start talking about some of these things, and then we do need these. The parade is one of our iconic institutions, not only in New York, but as I said, across the country. So what better way to kick off this celebration but than to do it in New York City at the Roosevelt House. Again, we're really grateful to you, President Robert, to Dr. Bonilla and the entire team at Hunter and Centro for offering us this beautiful venue for today's conference. As one of the largest cultural events in America, we're celebrating 66 years of promoting Puerto Rican culture, history, and our community's contributions to the world. Our theme this year, which we did not come to lightly, is Música, Cultura, the best of Puerto Rican heritage and achievement, by highlighting our vast diversity of talent, honoring historic figures, and exemplary trailblazers who excel in their fields and have contributed to our global society. And we came to this theme, I want to say, because we knew that we have had 3 very hard years as a community, as a country, and as a world because of the pandemic. And we wanted to say, let's celebrate who we are once again and try to bring not just joy to ourselves, but to everyone else, because this is a parade that we have, and it's the National Puerto Rican Day Parade, but we know millions of people enjoy it and respond to it and love it. And so these words embody the essence of the 2023 celebration, and they encapsulate the tributes and honorees we will recognize during the parade and our other events. Under music, we will pay tribute to legendary figures in Puerto Rican music, as well as today's artists that continue to shape musical genres on a global scale. Judy, I remember you, man. I was one of your girls, a little older, but still dancing. This year's celebration will highlight the incredible contributions that Puerto Ricans have made in music, creating and co-creating genres like salsa, boogaloo, hip-hop, freestyle, house music, Latin trap, reggaeton. For culture, since its genesis, the parade celebration has been about preserving and promoting Puerto Rican culture and heritage. This year's celebration will highlight distinguished honorees whose work has showcased that culture and shaped it to ongoing evolution across fine arts, film, literature, photography, and gastronomy. Did I say that right? Because I think that's your word, gastronomy. Not astronomy, gastronomy. Additionally, the parade will pay tribute to the indigenous people of Puerto Rico, including the native Taínos, one of the 3 cultural pillars that comprise Puerto Rican heritage and identity, along with European and African heritages. And for Alegría, whether residing in Puerto Rico or in La Patria Extendida, the diaspora. Puerto Ricans are known for being joyful, warm, upbeat, and colorful. The parade is a physical manifestation of these characteristics, which give the celebration its unique sense of festivity. This year's honorees include accomplished and award-winning Boricuas across a wide variety of entertainment platforms, including the theater, comedy, television, and sports. We have ambitious plans for 2023, and I'd like to introduce you right now to the talented group of individuals, not all of them are with us today, but many are, that work selflessly to continue elevating the celebration and make these plans come to fruition. This is a full-time board, and it is a working board. I'd like to recognize my esteemed colleagues on the parade board who are with us today. Wanda Silva. My Vice Chair, Miguel Guadalupe. Our Education Chair, Jason Macias. I singled out our former Chair, Luis Maldonado, from the last 5 years. Jose Rodriguez, who works on our cultural festival is at 152nd Street and Jackson on May 27th, and Jose helps put that together, as well as many other things. And Vincent Torres, who's our Chair for Parade Operations. The other day, he showed me he showed all of us, a military-grade map of how all the streets are done with the volunteers and how the floats are controlled. So very, very, very impressive. Emails coming in. Every year, the parade honors a municipality in Puerto Rico and a Puerto Rican community in the States. Back in January, we announced the 2023 honor municipality would be Aguadilla, La Ciudad de los Encantos. Today, we announced the 2023 stateside community is Los Angeles. So we'll have a contingent here from Los Angeles. According to the 2020 census, Los Angeles is home to nearly 50,000 Boricuas, which ranks the community among the top 10 in the contiguous U.S. The parade is collaborating closely with local groups and festivals to highlight these vibrant communities as part of this year's celebration. And so you know, I come to you from the great state of Georgia now after I left New York. We have 100,000 Boricuas that live in Georgia. Maybe next year, Louis. And we have a Sanse, Puerto Rico. It'll be in July. We will make more announcements later in the program, including several honorees, but for now, I'd like to emphasize that we are excited about the roster of 2023 parade honorees. We're excited to have so many legendary and accomplished individuals in our communities, not only from Puerto Rico, but stateside, and we're very excited to have you here. From New York to LA, from Chicago to Aguadilla, estamos presentes. Estamos orgullosos de un grupo de personas reconocidas, personalidades puertorriqueñas de gran prestigio. I'm not saying this whole speech in Spanish, so don't worry. De gran prestigio en nuestra comunidad. Y vamos de los Estados Unidos y a Puerto Rico y de Los Ángeles y a Aguadilla. On behalf of the parade, I invite you to join us on Fifth Avenue on Sunday, June 11th, to celebrate the cultural legacy that we've built over the last 66 years. Not the only one, but an important one. It takes a village, and we hope the theme, Música, Cultura, and Alegría, will inspire all of us as we plan our floats and our presentations and our designs and our representation. So te invitamos a todas las personas de los estados y de Puerto Rico a unirse a nosotros para conmemorar nuestra música, cultura y alegría. A la quinta. I'm going to introduce now and welcome to the podium our Vice Chair, Miguel Guadalupe, who'll share more about the announcements and who'll be followed by Wanda. Thank you, guys.
Buenos dias. Good morning, everybody. Hello to everyone here at the stage. Thanks for coming. Thank you to the press for coming, and hi to the Wepa Nation, coast to coast. So I just want to say we're really excited to announce so many of our accomplished honorees. Our 2023 class is amazing and very, very large, and we're very excited to introduce them to you. And I invite, several of them are present with us today, and I invite each one of them to come to the podium as Wanda and I announce them. So Wanda Silva is my colleague. She'll be announcing as well, right? So our first honoree is a singer, a radio personality, and a certified life coach who had the enormous success singing the popular New York City musical genre freestyle for over 35 years. She is one of the leaders of the crossover movement before crossover was even a thing, okay? Her many hits includes No Reason to Cry, Come Into My Arms, Love You, Will You Love Me, Faithfully, and more. Most recently, she successfully wrote and performed a one-woman show called No Reason to Cry, and which debuted in the Puerto Rican Traveling Theater. It was intended to run for just one weekend. Due to popular demand, it ran for 4 full months. Every single show sold out. All right, please join me in welcoming to the podium the Queen of Freestyle and the 2023 New York National Puerto Rican Day Parade Madrina, the incomparable Judy Torres.
That was beautiful. I appreciate that. Wow, when you hear your life back at you, it's like, wow, it's amazing. I just want to say how proud I am to be part of this year. I want you to know that 30 years ago, I was a madrina as well, but 30 years ago, I was like a little kid. And I didn't realize and recognize the magnitude and the magnificence of the National Puerto Rican Day Parade. So now that I'm being honored again, I just want to say thank you so much. I remember when I first started this career, I was encouraged to change my last name. I was told that if I carry the name Torres, I thought about that a lot. I thought about all the ladies that I grew up with in the Bronx who used to sit outside the fire escape listening to music. I thought about them waving the flags. I thought about how proud everybody was to be Puerto Rican, and I just thought, that's wrong. You know, it's not good. So I said, I don't care. I'm going to keep my name because I want people to hear my name and I want them to understand. And I think that helped a lot because back in the day, a lot of my other freestyle artists had changed their names. And not that they did anything wrong, but that was a decision. But back then, it wasn't okay to have a Latin last name, a Hispanic last name. Now you have Jennifer Lopez, Selena Gomez, Christina Aguilera, and it's just amazing. So I feel like in a way, we opened the door to that. So I just want to say thank you for allowing me to be proud of my culture and share that pride with you. And I continue to call myself Judy Torres and always will. I'm very, very proud to be Boricua. Gracias. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Judy. I got like goosebumps. So, you know, the diaspora and Puerto Ricans in general continue to open doors and to make ways. Joining Ms. Torres as padrino is the television and film actor Ismael Cruz Cordova, who's unable to be with us today because he's filming season 2 of Lord of the Rings, as the very first Black or Afro-Latino elf in the series. Okay, so he's not here today, but he sends his regards, and he looks forward to seeing you guys at the parade. So, is Luis here? We good? Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Next, our next honoree, coming to us live, is a Tony-nominated musical theater actress and singer who was born right here in New York City and raised in Puerto Rico. She got her start at the Public Theater in the cast of Runaways, as well as Lullaby and Good Night. She went on to appear on Broadway in Carmelina, Nick and Nora, and she was hand-selected by Leonard Bernstein himself to play the role of Maria in the 1980 revival of West Side Story, for which she earned her first Tony nomination. Her works include Grammy Award-winning recordings of Guys and Dolls, Carmelina, and Runaways, as well as 2 solo albums, Lullabies for Everyone and Nanas para Todos. Please join me as we're welcoming to the stage the multi-talented Josie de Guzman. Way to make an entrance, huh?
So glad you said my name right. God bless you.
From one Rican to another. Hello, everyone. Thank you. I want to thank Lilian Rodriguez, who I don't know, but I'm looking forward to meeting, and the board of the National Puerto Rican Day Parade for granting me this honor of being a part of the Puerto Rican Day Parade. Sí, yo nací aquí en Nueva York y tengo una anécdota pequeña que me gustaría compartir con ustedes. Yo tenía 2 años y yo miraba a los rascacielos en Nueva York y yo decía, yo nunca voy a dejar esta ciudad, nunca, nunca. Little did I know that my parents had other plans. My father, we are a multi-generational Puerto Rican family, and my father was finishing his studies and went back to Puerto Rico to take care of his mom. So we moved back. And at the beginning, the world was alien to me. I came from New York. Slowly, a beautiful, magical world opened for me. The fruits, the trees, the plants, and the people. And I was so blessed to grow up in Puerto Rico. So blessed to be with my people and grow with my people and really get to know the enormity of my culture and how we contribute and how we help make the world a better place. And we help New York City and we help the United States. And it brought me back to New York. I came back to New York and I started my career in New York. And New York has been always very supportive, and the Puerto Rican community always very supportive. So much love and support. And I am thrilled because I used to go to the Puerto Rican Day Parade every year, and I would go into Central Park and I would dance with my people. And so este año voy a ser parte de the Puerto Rican Day Parade. So thank you for this great honor. I love Puerto Rico. Que viva Puerto Rico, que vivan los puertorriqueños. I love you all. Thank you very much. Huepa, huepa, huepa.
That's so cool. We have to take a picture later so I can send to my fellow theater geeks from high school that I got to meet you. They'll never believe it. All right, so thank you. So listen, our next honoree is also New York-based, is a New York-based photographer who moved to New York City in the 1980s to study photography at Parsons, the School of Design, and pursue his art. Since then, he has exhibited in galleries and museums around the world. Now listen to this list. It includes the MoMA, el Museo del Barrio, Museo de Arte Contemporáneo in San Juan, the Caribbean Museum in St. Croix, the Hague Arts Center in the Netherlands, and the Sarkowski Gallery in St. Petersburg, Russia, the Smithsonian National Portrait Gallery, and the Leslie Lohman Museum of Art. All right, talk about getting around, huh? Please join me in welcoming to the podium our 2023 Ambassador, Luis Carle.
Bueno, buenas tardes. Muchas gracias a todos. Bueno, yo nací en Puerto Rico, en Torres, Hospital del Maestro, and I've been here since the 80s. I used to travel doing photography back and forth from Puerto Rico to New York, and then I noticed there is a lot of good art in Puerto Rico, but this was a time when the AIDS was hitting very hard. So a lot of my friends were dying, and I started to work also those times when Puerto Rico was like very up on advertising, and there was like a hip going on Puerto Ricans. So I kind of started documenting the work of my friends that were sick and that started dying, from AIDS. So I came to New York and I said, we need to get a place to show this art because they're really good people. And they said, well, you can make an appointment and, we might have space like in a couple of years. I said, okay, put me down. Couple of years, We got into the files of the MoMA. We got into the Smithsonian. So then, this group became really, really, we were for 30 years back up with doing exhibits. And, I kept doing photography in between. So this is kind of like why I'm here now. And I thank the Puerto Rican Parade and all this to give us the opportunity to show what we do, because Puerto Ricans are really nice people. So, gracias.
I love it. Thank you so much, Luis. So our next honoree, who is here and will speak to us, is an award-winning choreographer, because it's all about música cultura, right? And cultura, you can't have cultura without dance. And is the founder of the Keep Rising to the Top, KR3TS, right? KR3TS, a dance company that has been launching the careers of top-performing dance professionals for more than 30 years out of East Harlem. Recently, Violeta choreographed dance scenes for Lin-Manuel's In the Heights movie, and she has created work for artists like Aventura, Prince Royce, Jill Scott, and many, many others. What's more, KR3T's alumni have blossomed into elite dance professionals that have performed and choreographed for artists like, and here's the list, Rihanna, Beyonce, Chris Brown, Pitbull, Jennifer Lopez, Usher, and many, many others. The talent from this school is absolutely amazing. Please join me in welcoming to the podium the 2023 National Puerto Rican Day Parade Ambassador, Violeta Galagarza.
Thank you so much. Oh my God. I really want to thank Victor Rivera, Miguel, the staff, the team of the board that made this happen for 66 years behind the scenes. They don't know the hard work that goes through this, so I give it to you guys. And Carmen, thank you so much, and my team. Being 66 years divided by that is 33 years of my organization. I started my company at the age of 17. And we're a nonprofit based in Spanish Harlem, which I wanted to train amateurs to become professionals, because I didn't have anyone to show me. I came from Alvinelli, Junior High School Performing Arts, and I thought there was a need, and being a thick Latina was tough after being a mom, so I was like, if I can't do it at Alvinelli, it's okay, I'm gonna do it in El Barrio. And I continued to make noise, and what gave me that platform was the Puerto Rican Day Parade, where they used to be like, go Gorda, and I used to be like, yes, this Gorda's doing it. And the 116 Festival, and I was like, you're gonna know that this Gorda can do it too, and many other Gordas in our community can as well. How can I inspire, empower, and encourage others by my living life experience, being Latina, thick, a mom of 3, the hood, when the drugs was out, we still did what we love. We encourage others, and many where they at now. I wasn't the choreographer of Lin-Manuel, but I was dancing at the movie. I was one of, in the salon, but my son was the actor in the movie In the Heights. He was Graffiti Pete. He's a famous dancer worldwide, as well as many of my dancers who are in LA, traveling all over. I am still 25. It's 33 years of my company, and I never gave up. And it was an excitement even with my dancers to want to dance and show off in the parade, representing artists like freestyle artists, Latino artists, hip-hop artists in the Puerto Rican Day Parade, representing all radio stations. Whoever needed us, we was there to represent in that float. We didn't want to be on the float. We was on the street. We wanted to connect to our audience, our people, and we was always grateful because y'all gave us that platform to use to brand us to be who we are now. And being a Latina, I'm proud because I know when I was 17, 19, I was a part of the Tornado Hugo in Puerto Rico, and we raised funds and we flew out, stood out there for 10 days. My father was mad. You're too young, why you over there? There's too much, and he's in Puerto Rico. And I was like, well, we gotta do it for Puerto Rico. I wasn't raised there, but I'm a part of it and it's in my blood, and I gotta do whatever it takes. We did that, and we did it for Maria. We was able in 3 weeks, our dancers, to raise over $12,000. $100. We tried, on our own, and get portable battery-operated beds to be out there. But we will never give up. We will be the voice of the voiceless in the arts to continue to encourage others. And I thank you guys. This is such an honor. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Violeta. I think it's an interesting thing that you say, and it's a pattern that you're seeing of people who came to the parade as spectators, as children, who were inspired by the parade to then do great things on their own. And what we hope is that every year more children see this parade and more children participate and are inspired to do great things in the future. As you know, the parade always has surprises, so I got just one more thing that came in literally this morning. In terms of the music, in terms of our honorees, we're happy to announce that in addition to our 2023 honoree class, we will be having singer, songwriter, and reggaeton artist Jay Wheeler join the parade. So that's brand new. And with that, let me introduce my colleague and board member, Wanda Silva.
Gracias, Miguel. Gracias. Muy buenos días a todos. Quiero felicitar a todos los que están aquí presentes y que van a estar desfilando con nosotros. Quiero también agradecerle por su talento, por dar su tiempo, por dar lo que le gusta. Este año, como se dijo anteriormente, estamos celebrando lo que es música, cultura y alegría, porque eso es lo que es ser boricua. Cuando yo diga boricua, ustedes dicen huepa. ¡Boricua! ¡Huepa! Gracias. My name is Wanda Silva. Our next honoree holds a very special place in our hearts, especially those of us in the Patria Extendida. Many Boricuas that are born and raised outside Puerto Rico often spend their lives defending the fact that they are Boricuas. Yeah, you are Boricua no matter where you are. Well, one of those is a young lady who did just that herself, and for all of us, for many of those that are always fighting and claiming to be Boricua. She did it at a global stage, that is the Miss Universe pageant, placing first runner-up in 2019. She proved to the world that we are all Puerto Rican, no matter where we are, even if we live en la luna. And that we are truly Boricuas that just happen to live outside Borinquen. I am thrilled to announce Madison Anderson Berrios as our 2023 Orgullo Puertorriqueño. If you watch Telemundo, la serie La Casa de los Famosos, you know who she is because she was the winner of that show. Our next honoree, she is not here today, but I know that she's sending her love to everybody here, and she's going to be with us on 5th Avenue. Our next honoree has had such a stellar career, and it is accomplished Spanish language television personality and host that we came to know and love after joining the cast of world's largest running television show. Señores, Sábado Gigante. ¿Quién no sabe Sábado Gigante? Everybody knows Sábado Gigante con Don Francisco. So she was a part of the group that was participating on Sábado Gigante, that show. She was also a co-host at Univision morning show Despierta América. And she's also parte del elenco de Nuestra Belleza Latina y Pequeños Gigantes. She is a co-host of Telemundo Daytime La Mesa Caliente. Y por supuesto, señores, I'm talking nada más y nada menos que la famosísima boricua Giselle Blondet. You used to watch novela with her too, right? When you were a little girl, you know Giselle Blondet. She is going to be this year Grand Marshal. Ella va a ser la gran mariscal de la parada este año. Uniéndose a de mujeres liderando el desfile 2023, una gran actriz, quien no puede acompañarnos el día de hoy, pero Quinta Avenida, representando comunidades puertorriqueñas desde Los Ángeles hasta Chicago, con un trabajo como actriz que incluye programas tal como One Day at a Time, Superstore, Queen of the South. Her last series, The Horror of Dolores Roach, is set in New York City and Washington Heights and features Machado as the title character. The 8-episode series release is in the entire in Prime Video starting on July 7. We are excited to announce that our 2023 parade queen will be Justina Machado. Y lo voy a decir en español. Me complace presentar y anunciar que en este año la parada tendrá como reina a Justina Machado. In February, the National Puerto Rican Day Parade announced a tribute to the life and music of a legendary Puerto Rican composer and musician, Rafael Hernández Marín. That's an icon right there. Who was born and raised in Aguadilla, which happened to be also the country that we are honoring this year, and is considered one of the greatest Puerto Rican composers of all time and one of the most prolific composers of Latin America. También tendremos otros honorees que ya han pasado a otra vida, sin embargo, sus vidas continúan con nosotros porque son leyendas que han puesto en alto la isla de Borinquen. Our next honoree, who is no longer with us, but in our hearts, Antonia Pantoja. She came from a humble upbringing in San Juan, Barrio Obrero. Para aquellos que conocen Barrio Obrero, ¿saben dónde es Barrio Obrero? As one of the most vocal and passionate advocates for the Puerto Rican diaspora, inspiring and guiding emerging leaders in New York City since 1960s. She was a key figure in fighting for mitigate the problem that we had then with education and social injustice, which we still have it now, which was plaguing our community, especially here in New York. Her contributions were many and include the establishment of bilingual and culturally relevant education in New York and across the U.S. Dr. Pantoja helped establish some of the most influential stateside organizations of the time, including Aspira. In 1961. We're talking about a trailblazer, somebody who knew there was a problem and something needed to be done. Aspira continued to build on Dr. Pantoja's legacy of leadership, development, and movement building, and providing extensive career resources for Latino and youth communities across the United States. Joining us today from Aspira, New York, the Executive Director, Carmen Diaz Malvido. Please help me to welcome her right here to give us some words to talk to us about Pantoja's legacies.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me here. Once again, my name is Carmen Diaz Malvido. It is a great honor, and we are very proud to be honored by the National Puerto Rican Day Parade, not only as an organization, but also for the legacy of Dr. Antonia Pantoja. I am an aspirante. I'm a proud aspirante, and so there are so many aspirantes throughout New York City who definitely have helped us continue to grow the mission and vision of Aspira, but also continue to grow the legacy of leadership, which at the heart and core is really what Dr. Antonia Pantoja wanted for the Puerto Rican community. She is and continues to be one of the most influential leaders in the Puerto Rican diaspora, and we are very proud to continue that legacy and to also join you on Fifth Avenue. Mil gracias. Thank you so much.
When I say Boricua, you say? All right. Bueno, tenemos todavía la lista de personas que estarán desfilando con nosotros, que se han sobresalido por su labor, por su trabajo, por dejar parte de sus talentos, por compartir su talento con nosotros, que no están aquí. Lo voy a leer porque quiero que ustedes sepan que tenemos una lista de personas distinguidas que estarán con nosotros, que los representan a cada uno de ustedes. Tenemos a Luis Molina, Commissioner, NYC Department of Correction, with a title of Ambassador. Luis Salgado, Broadway performer, director, choreographer, and producer, also an ambassador. We announced our first installment on honorees at a press conference in San Juan in April 25th. You can find the list of all the other honorees that we announced in Puerto Rico in the press release that we sent. I know now I have to pass the microphone to one of my colleagues, because I want you all to know that everything that we do as a board member, and you know, we have the director here with us, and each one of us, everything that we do it for one main reason. Well, more than one. But one of the main reasons is a scholarship. We want to make sure that our youth are prepared with the best education that there is out there. So a scholarship is very important to us. The other second one that I say is more than one is to continue maintaining our culture and celebrating who we are. Thank you all for being here. And with that, Jason Macias to tell us how we're doing with our scholarship. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. So it's hard to follow up, you know, talking about icons, legends, influencers, inspirations, but I'm here to talk about our flagship program. That's our scholarship program. And for the 7th consecutive year, we will give out $200,000 in scholarships to 100 students. And with this year's class, we will total over $1.5 million in scholarships given to students of Puerto Rican descent. And so I'm here just to briefly talk about what this year's class looks like. I have the opportunity to read these applications, and what you see is stories of survival, of inspiration, of perseverance, a true representation of what our community is and what we celebrate at the parade. And so this year, our scholars, applicants represent 20 states, represent Puerto Rico. A quarter of those applicants are from Puerto Rico. About a 60-40 split, 60% from college university, 40% from high school. And of the application process thus far, we've gone already through the written part of the application, and a vast percentage of those have received excellent grades in our scoring of what they've submitted in their applications. I mean, we're really looking at truly inspirational students. And so our selectors, volunteers from El Centro right here, and we hope, we're in the middle of our interview process right now. We'll wrap everything up, announce the winners by June 1st, have everyone, hopefully again, have a contingency at the parade of those recipients and winners. And that's really it. We really look forward to highlighting these scholars, and what we do with them after they win isn't just give them money and walk away. We actually have programming with El Centro, which is, you know, a key partner to the scholarship program, to not only help them get where they want to get in their pursuit of higher education, but also understand how they got there and who helped them get there. So with that said, I will pass the microphone to fellow parade board member, Jose Rodriguez, who will offer updates on the parade's preparations and the full calendar of events. Thank you.
Buen días a todos. Good morning to you all. With less than 4 weeks to go before the June 11th parade, I'd like to share some updates on where we are with parade formation. As Lillian mentioned at the top of the program, we anticipate strong participation from the honored sister cities, Aguadilla and Los Angeles. We also welcome back the many groups that represent the pueblos ausentes, who have participated in the parade since the very beginning. Parade registrations are as strong as ever, and we fully anticipate having well over 100 contingents with over 60 floats. We emphasize that there is still time to register for groups to march or even secure a float for the 11th procession. But they must act quickly. Registration deadline is May the 26th. For the 7th consecutive year, the National Puerto Rican Day Parade will be broadcast live on WABC-TV Channel 7 and streamed live on www.abc7ny.com. We'll kick off the, yes, you can clap for that, absolutely. We'll kick off the parade celebration over the Memorial Day weekend with the annual 152nd Street Cultural Festival in the Bronx, one of the better festivals, in my personal opinion, that we have in the city of New York, and as well as the borough, the great borough of the Bronx. You can tell where I'm from. This family-friendly event will have music, arts, and crafts, and kids' activities, food and fun, and I'm sorry, Tio Papito, there will be absolutely no alcohol. As the name says, the festival will take place on 152nd Street between Jackson and Tinton Avenues in the Bronx, the Boogie Down, the South Bronx. East Harlem claims or takes the credit as La Cuna, but South Bronx will take the claim as, that cousin that's always been by your side. So here we are. We welcome the community to join us at this wonderful kickoff event to the 2023 parade celebration. Also remember that there are many other events leading up to the parade. One of those events is our annual gala fundraiser, which take place on Friday, June 9th at Gotham Hall in Manhattan. We have an exciting program planned, which will include special performances by several of our honorees. Gala tickets can be purchased on our website at nprdpinc.org. So please remember that. Purchase those tickets, because all the proceeds of those tickets not only cover the cost of our gala, but also go towards the cost of our scholarship fund, which we are extremely proud to have raised so much money over the years since our board has been reconstituted. Thank you so much. A full calendar of events is included in the press release you will receive, as well as on our website. We welcome you all to join us in the celebration, and we thank you for helping share the details of our celebration with our community. And on that, I welcome back Lou with some acknowledgments. Thank you.
I'll just add to Jose's comment about the Bronx. It's also known as El Condado de la Salsa. My husband's Colombian, and the Caleños, the people from Cali, like to think of Cali as la. The salsa was born right here, but created by Puerto Ricans, and that the Bronx officially is El Condado de la Salsa. All right, officially. All right, so before we close our program, I want to take a few moments to thank our sponsors who are present today, without whom the National Puerto Rican Day Parade and our scholarship would not be possible. Those include Manhattan Beer Distributors, Corona Beer, and Modelo Especial, the Walt Disney Company, and ABC-7 in New York, SEIU 1199, the City University of New York, Hunter College, Centro, thank you again. The Amazing Mets Foundation, Local 100, Snipes USA, Popular Bank, Walmart of Puerto Rico, Lincoln Center, a new sponsor to this year, Metro Plus Health, Montefiore, NBC4, and Telemundo 47, Univision 41 and X96.3 FM, the Spanish Broadcasting System, GFR Media, Pharmaceuticals. I also want to thank again our honorees who are here today, Judy Torres, Josie de Guzman, who still knows how to enter the room right on cue. Perfect job. Violeta Galagarza and Luis, Carre. Thank you. Sorry, blanked out. This concludes our program, and we thank you all for joining us. See you on 5th Avenue on June 11th, as well as the events leading up to it. And I would invite all the honorees to please join us at the front of the room for some photo opportunities. Thank you very much.